Thank you very much for the introduction. Yes, I'm here to talk about Octopus, which is something that I've been developing outside of my day job, because when I came back to science from the media, I really felt that the scientific publishing system was driving science in the wrong direction. So I'm going to talk today about Octopus. And what I think is wrong with the current dissemination system is that it's trying to do two things at once. It's all based around journals, which are both trying to disseminate useful findings, and that's the really kind of one that's important to journals and drives revenue. And if you think about the most popular bits of journals, it's the news and views sections. But at the same time, the journals are being forced to fulfill another job, which is a really sort of thankless task of being the primary research record. It's kind of like being a patent office for establishing priority and a place to record full details of methods and data. And that's a very specialized task and naturally seems to be taking a back seat compared to the first task, which is driving the incentive structure around publishing. And because of that second task of being the primary research record, that is really being used as the only record for researchers about what the quality of their research is. And because the incentive structure is being driven by the dissemination needs, I think that's driving the incentive structure really poorly for scientists and scientific research. So I think that we really need to split these two jobs. And that's what Octopus is designed to do. It's designed to be the new primary research record to take on this second job, leaving journals free to do the first job properly, the dissemination. And that means that we can separate these two incentive structures. So this would also allow some fundamental changes to the way we think about research communication and hence research itself. And F1000 and registered reports all really feed into this, and Octopus is probably just taking this to a further extreme, because the scientific process naturally comes in a kind of series of steps, one after the other, and each requires some quite different skills and quite different resources. And to write a paper, a traditional paper, forces people to get right to the end of this process before sharing any of it. And that's causing so many of the problems. It's retrospectively forcing a linear narrative onto things and being incentivized to create a really good readable story and hold on to publications until you've got data that kind of supports your hypothesis. And we know all these problems. But if we separate the incentives and we break up the idea of a paper as the unit of dissemination, then I think we can develop a primary research record that's free of those problems, and we can allow a structure of publication that more closely matches the actual process. And so that's why I think it's taking registered reports to a different level, because instead of splitting it into two, the kind of getting as far as your protocol and then from the protocol onwards, in Octopus, we think of it splitting into 8 different kinds of publications. So those are the 7, and then the 8th is the review, with reviews being obviously attached to any other kind of publication and treated and valued in the same way as other publications, because reviewing is a scientific skill just like any other. And so incentivizing it, we can encourage good reviewing. So this is what Octopus looks like at the moment. And at the top there, you can see that kind of branching structure. Every publication in Octopus has to be linked to an existing one. So it's a bit like the registered report stage 2 has to be linked to stage 1. In Octopus, every stage has to be linked to every other. It helps navigation and discovery, as does the rating system, which allows well-rated publications to come to the top of searches. So funders could look for well-rated and well-reviewed publications and offer to fund the next step. And we've got the red flag system, which allows you to flag up any really inappropriate or problematic publications. And any logged in user can rate publications on 3 preset criteria, which are different for each publication type, and allows us as a scientific community to decide what defines good science in each type of publication. So you can see also that it's easy to write a linked publication or a review, and if you're logged on. And because everything that you do in Octopus is linked to your public CV, as it were, you have your own profile page, it means that it produces a much more useful set of metrics for institutions and funders. You can instantly see what type of researcher each person is from what type of publications they specialize in. Obviously, you can see I'm an incredibly well-rounded publisher, but you can see, you know, is this an ideas person or a data collector or an analyst? Are they a good reviewer? What do their peers think of them? And so you'd be able to see the peer ratings and easily read the reviews. So having these much more useful metrics would provide an even greater incentive for researchers to get their work into Octopus as quickly and in the best form as possible. And as I say, Octopus wouldn't be a good read, and that's where the journals would then take over in the dissemination process. So taking the best content from Octopus and editorializing it for their specific readers. So that's a very quick tour of Octopus. And as I say, it has a lot in common with F1000 and the registered report format idea, because I think we're all working at these same problems. But Octopus is designed to, as I say, kind of take it to the further extreme and really explore how much we can separate the incentives for good science and for what you disseminate from the journal system, which I think has a different role. So Octopus has now come to the point where we have had support from these fantastic funders and supporters, and we've got a demo site ready, which is what I've been showing you a bit today. We would love to get some more feedback on it. It's only got dummy content in for testing. But the point that we're at now is to really think about how this can be taken forwards and what the model for future dissemination could be. So I'm really keen to hear feedback from people, both on the concept, but also if you've got time to go to this demo site, and I will share my slides so that you've got the URLs and things. I'd love feedback on actual usability as well, because we're at the point where we can make this user experience as good as possible. We're trying to get no barriers to publication, to even out the incentive structure, and to really make science more of a meritocracy. So we don't have editors, we don't have barriers to entry other than needing to log in using an ORCID. And so I think that's probably just about my 10 minutes up. So thank you very much.